Hello my scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel for another process video. Today I'm going to be working on a 12 by 12 layout and I'm going to continue to work with the 30 days of sketches. Guys, I am on day 5 and I have never, I know that doesn't seem like a lot, like it's only 5 days, Desiree, but I have never made it this far. Every time Christy has hosted this series, I have done maybe 1 or 2 of the designs or sketches, and that's it. So this has been also really helping me kind of get my daughter's friend's album done that was supposed to be for her birthday present last year. I mean, definitely gave her some goodies, like a whole bunch of candy and stuff when I came to her birthday, or my daughter went to her birthday, but the main gift was supposed to be this, and you know how long it takes. So the sketches are really helping me kind of keep, get a momentum going and keep going. So I also left the sketch up at the top right hand just so you can follow along and kind of see where I kind of tweak the sketch to make it my own, and just hopefully inspire you to do the same with any sketches that you may be working on. Or there's even times where I follow it to a T just because, I love the sketch so much and maybe everything is going the way I want it to and I want to keep it just the way it is. I'm really into tearing right now, so definitely I wanted to tear my paper. But the paper that I picked, guys, this paper is so old. You all know that I love to find out when it was made. It is so old. It was before companies pretty much printed the company's name on the back. Yeah, it is probably from 1998, 1999. Not kidding. And yeah, I just grabbed this one because it was perfect. Even though the kids are not in snow whatsoever, they were actually at their friend's birthday party that was held at an ice skating ring. And that unfortunately that place is no longer around, which I don't know. I'm going to go off on a little tangent right now. I don't know if where you live, if I feel like they're closing down all the places that are fun for the kids. And I'm all about getting them outside, off devices, even, with my teens, get off your phones, go have fun and go do stuff. So but I am thankful that my kids were able to experience it before, a couple times in their childhood before it closed down. But actually, this was probably the last time that both of my kids went. So, anyways, it was at a friend's birthday party, like I said, and that paper of the snowflake I felt was so perfect because it definitely gives you that cold feeling. When you see that paper that, okay, they were somewhere where it was cold. And the minute you walk into an ice skating ring, if you have those near you, or if you don't, or you don't know, it is freezing. It is so crazy to go from outside and then go indoors, and it's pretty cold. Next, I grabbed some scrap paper that I just had in my stash, which you guys all know I love to go straight to my scraps and see if there's anything I can use to create this layout. But I just grabbed this purple that had that purpley blue that I thought looked very pleasing to the eye with that navy blue. All of those colors are very cool tones and I just thought they were beautiful together. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all that down. Now there is one thing that did kind of bother me that I don't really notice while I'm kind of creating, and that is, you see where it's kind of torn funky? I wish I kind of would have evened it out, just because honestly everything else was pretty smooth as far as the ripping of the paper or tearing of the paper. So I was a little bummed about that, and the way I flip the layout, it is more noticeable because I actually turn this upside down. Now, one thing that bothered me, and you guys know this, that white background paper that I grabbed is bigger than the 12 by 12 paper. So there was a little excess, so all I did was take my paper trimmer off camera and trim that down. So now it's perfect and you don't see any white background paper. Next, I'm going to create the banner, and again, I just went through my stash or my scraps, and I was like, before I start cutting into more paper, because I don't have any paper to this, it wasn't a collection as far as that snowflakes, and I know that it's just only 2 colors, and I probably could have found maybe another collection that worked with it. Sometimes I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little lazy at times, and It's, you know, especially when I get off work and I'm trying to create this layout, I don't want to go through all of my stash to try to find papers to go with it. So if I have a scrap bin next to me, I just kind of go in to see what I have there. Now, also another thing that makes it kind of limited for me is I don't really have a lot of snow stickers or anything like that because where I live doesn't really we just don't have snow at all. I live in San Diego, and yeah, you guys all know there's no snow, but we can drive to it. Definitely is a couple hours and we will be in snow, but it's very rare that we ever go that far. So I kind of have to think outside of the box on what I can do to kind of just spice this, you know, layout up and kind of dress it up a little bit more. And so I just went into my stencils, and I knew I had this snowflake stencil. I've used it many, many times. It's probably the most well used, which is funny because I just got done saying how I don't have a lot of snow uh, um photos, but yeah, I have used this quite a bit. Um, and so I was like, okay, I know I can use this. Now, then I actually was going to grab some inks, and then I remembered I had also some modeling paste, but I didn't know what I had left. And I ended up having this brand new Bo Bunny. It's their glittery paste. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge fan of it. Sorry if anybody likes it. I don't. It was brand new, and already that stuff is very hard. It's dry, and it was never even opened. So it just it dries very quickly. Like as soon as I put it on, within a couple minutes. I mean, unless there is an like an excessive amount there, it will take a little bit longer. Like you can see some parts of that snowflake where there's a little bit I actually tried to scrape some of it off, but you can tell that there's some parts where it's a little bit more thicker than others areas, and those, yes, do take a little bit longer. But if you do a real thin coating, I'm not kidding you, in probably less than a minute, it's already dry. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I threw out others that I purchased and used maybe only once, and when I went back to go to use it, it just was all dried up. So I don't get the most out of it. All right, so now I'm going to go back to that purple paper, and I had just a little bit left, and you guys all know me. I want to try to use it all up and not stick any scraps back into my bin. So what I did was I thought, well, you know what, I'll just go ahead and mat another layer of paper behind it because there really isn't any purple in the middle of the layout, and so I really like that. Just kind of brings everything together. Now I am using some Scotch Quick Dry, and that is because that is the basil textured cardstock. So you definitely want to get strong adhesive so that way it sticks and not falls apart on you later on. All right, so then I noticed after I glued that down, I'm like, oh, I tore a piece of that purple in the past and didn't even realize it. So I tried to smooth it out so that way it didn't look torn, and did the best that I can, and honestly, it's not a big deal. Now I want to just add a few more things to it before I call this layout done, and that is when I remembered I had this Renee Linderman. Oh my gosh, I still love these stickers, and I also had some die cuts and a couple of papers that went with them. They are by far my favorite, probably winter line, and I want to say this is like made in who knows, like 2000 something. But yeah, I still love them. I have a couple of those sticker sheets, and so I'm just going to go ahead and use one and kind of like basically have it going along the snowflake paper. I thought about putting it across the banner, but decided I actually prefer to have it kind of like on the edge, like if it would be as if it was your like rooftop. So it did kind of tear on me, as you can see, but I'm okay with that. I'm not going to need this whole piece anyways. So I'm just going to go ahead and tuck that in underneath or behind that banner, and that way you'll never know. You just think it's one continuous sticker. So then, and I even liked how it kind of angled along with the paper. As you can see, it kind of like starts up at the top and then kind of droops down. So I really like that. But yeah, once I get that done, I am going to, oh, I could have cut this part out from you guys are watching me clean up a little bit. My little OCD-ness at times where I just want to put everything back. But anyways, I am then trying to figure out what else could I do, because again, I just don't have any stickers or ephemera, anything to go with this layout. And so I thought, okay, stamps. What do I have for stamps? Well, guess what? I didn't have anything that was winter stamps. But I did have this one by Studio Calico. It's actually for the summer, and it said "Stay Cool." Or no, was it "Stay Cool"? Let me see. What does it say? Oh, super cool. And again, just kind of like cool being, it could be like rad or awesome, or cool like it was kind of cool out, right? So that was kind of like my thought process. I'm like, well, super cool because the kids to think it was a super cool place of going there. And then I'm going to go ahead and also add my title. Uh, Now with the title, I am going to grab my quick cuts. Guys, I am so excited to see thin alphabet dies kind of making a comeback. I kept all of my quick cuts alphabet fonts. I have maybe about 5 or 6 of them. Um, Only half of that, I think maybe 3 or 4 that I truly use all the time, and the rest I don't, just because they're more of a funky wonky alphabet set. But I will say that really is helping me also kind of use up my scraps, because, and it also makes the alphabet be completely like, I want to say unified, but it basically, it's not unified or uniformed is what I was thinking. But basically it's the same exact colors that are displayed of the layout. So it's not like I'm kind of guessing or it might be kind of close. They definitely are the same papers that I were using. So I just grabbed some aqua and I grabbed some pink, and then I have these 2 pink strips of paper that have been on my workspace forever. On the last time I was using some of it on a previous layout, maybe like 4 layouts ago, 5 layouts. And so I thought, you know what, I wanted to kind of ground that birthday bash, hear that, birthday bash, underneath the title, and I just go ahead and make it into a banner, double fishtailed, and I'm going to actually put the date on that, so that way it kind of grounds it and doesn't feel like the title is floating. And that's it, guys. That is my layout. I do hope you enjoyed this layout. If you did, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, I definitely hope you consider subscribing. I would love to have you here, and you all have an amazing day. Bye.